And that's going to do it for Captain Stallings there with Colleton County Sheriff's Office. What did you think about her testimony? Let us know on social media. Maybe we'll read it on the air. Still with us, National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar. Michael, now what really stood out to me is probably the big question on everybody's minds, because this is a side part of this case, right? The bigger question, which we're going to get into, is the murder, whether or not it was murder, and how she ended up on fire. But was it an unlawful detainment?
I don't think that the defense attorney was able to show that this was an unlawful detainment. I think what she showed is that it's a good old boy network. It shocked me when it turned out that I think the sheriff or one of them was her daughter Terry Ann was the tenant of one of the law enforcement officers. The whole thing was bizarre. It was disorienting. It showed that she showed that it was a good old boy network, and that later on she's going to argue in her closing argument that, hey, you can't really trust anything that happened here. You have no idea, because at the end of the day, we know when we get into the murder side of it, we know that she was excused. The daughter was excused from the room when the police took a recorded statement. So I think this is part of her narrative to show that anything that the police did and the law enforcement officers did in this investigation is suspect, because they didn't give him a fair shake. And it started with the whole entire arrest and with how they treated him. And then she came in and she changed the report to say that he left when in fact he was asked to leave. I think this is beginning. Remember, she's cross-examining, right? So these are not her witnesses. So she cannot choreograph who comes in and what comes in. She just has to cross-examine what the state gives her. So the state decided to call this witness in this order. She's cross-examining. We now know what her narrative is. We now know how she's going to fight the eventual recorded statement of the victim, her dying declaration. We now know how she's going to fight it. She just gave us her playbook. She's going to fight it by saying, this is a good old boy network. Everything is botched. It was tunnel vision, not even tunnel vision. They had ulterior motives to basically not frame my client, but to basically paint him in a light that's not correct. That's what her playbook is, and she started it today.